Hey everyone, Bernard here, founder of Reji, hanging out with Lazarus.
Lazarus DeBoer, owner of the Mad Greek out of Baker, California.
Awesome. Yeah, we're here in the beautiful city of San Francisco, hanging out in front of Peet's Coffee. We actually flew here for a quick trip because Larry here is becoming a licensee of Peet's. Right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Becoming a licensee of Peet's at Baker, California, doing everything and what we can to make a dollar.
Wait, yeah, but he has a unique situation because everyone has to stop in Baker, right?
Exactly. We call it the toilet town because that's where we make our money on is the toilet. The coffee, the euros, those are just extra.
Yeah. So we're actually privileged to have Lazarus as a licensee because he is also currently a Reji customer, utilizing Reji in the Mad Greek, right?
Oh, yeah.
His restaurant. He was actually, believe it or not, our second customer to come on the platform,
Yeah.
right?
Yep, second customer.
And they happen to be opening up to be as a licensee with Peet's, and we're going to implement Reji. So we came down to San Francisco to check out how Peet's currently doing the self checkout, so we can mirror and produce something similar. So
Yeah. I mean, from my experience with Reji, it's been a godsend in our area because obviously, we're a little rural and having a system that can handle both the cloud and legacy systems works really well. That hybrid system works really well. I mean, now I know Bernard's moving closer towards the iCloud side of the cloud system. But yeah, I mean, we're here, Peet's Coffee, San Francisco, testing out the equipment. Hopefully, I mean, we're going to implement either something better with Reggie's at our new Peet's location, and should be real simple, intuitive, easy to use. Anybody can come and order, pick up. It should be seamless.
seamless, right? And actually, we have a unique situation here because you decided to fabricate your own kiosk.
Oh
Right?
yeah.
So you want to talk about kind of that experience,
Yeah,
where
yeah.
you went
So,
through, like
well, Bernard and I were spitballing a little bit about either making a kiosk and something like that, and we just kind of ran with it. And I started buying all the components. What we do an Elo 3, 27-inch, we did a stand, we did a little bare bone look, but we have a certain design that we're going for as well, and you can utilize some natural wood or possibly a galvanized metal to give it some depth and contrast.
yeah,
And
and you're kind of fabricating it to fit the counter height and
yeah, fabricating it.
The way you're designing the layout, right? Which by the way looks awesome.
Yeah.
You just showed me some pictures. And you again, as a licensee, you have the freedom to kind of build how you want it, correct?
Yeah. To an extent,
it has to be approved.
Yeah, it's something definitely new to Peet's Coffee, definitely new to the Mad Greek. When we started our journey a little while, not that long ago, a few years ago, it worked out really well for us, and now we're implementing some counter kiosks rather than moving to registers. And at Peet's Coffee, the idealist design is I use them both at Peet's and at the Mad Greek, because at the Mad Greek, as you know, our counter height is way too high. So something that can slide up or down, can get a little bit of movement in there, some little room to work with. That was key, the flexibility of that.
Got it.
Yeah.
And remind me where you kind of got your idea, which was, I think you mentioned the theater, right? You were at a theater. And you saw the design, and that's how you envisioned what you wanted to do.
I was at a movie theater. I'm not going to say the name. But,
Once we get some.
Once we get a contract, But I had a movie theater, and I saw a stall, and it was on a pedestal and everything. But this was the first one that I saw that was super thin, because usually when you see a pedestal or counter kiosk, they're really bulky, you kind of have to make it that way if it's a pedestal kiosk standalone, because it's got to catch your eye.
Mm-hmm.
But this one was kind of tight in the corner, but everybody was using it.
Oh.
I mean, so it was a big enough screen so everybody thought, oh, that's a kiosk, I could go there. So that was the biggest thing, 27 to 32 inches is the way to go as far as getting that wow factor and catching your eye, because anything lower on a counter, it'll work, but it's also something that may blend in for if you have a big screen with your promotions on it, catch your eye right.
Catches eyes right away, right? Cool. Um, maybe before we close out, you want to highlight kind of like because I know that at the Magritte you have 4 kiosks going, right?
Yes.
And uh, you want to highlight kind of like the adoption, the kiosk, like
Oh yeah.
in your space. Because I remember my remembrance of Magritte even before I knew you. We would be customers, and the line would be either out the door,
Yeah.
or you'd be having to,
Yeah.
like, it's a long line, right?
Yeah. So fortunately, we've been blessed with a good business and a great location, where we're not limited to a parking lot, we're limited to a freeway. So that was the biggest thing. And yeah, you're right. Lines out the door. You'd have to wait for our staff member to take your order, and it's still very much so like that. Don't get me wrong. We haven't taken that factor out because we still need the cash option. We still need that employee to help that customer that just needs that little bit extra. Now, the great thing about kiosks is that what it did was shifted our clientele to start looking at screens and being a little more self-sufficient. And when they order off that kiosk, I mean, we still have somebody there to answer any questions, but the information you can get from it is click of a button. I mean, the implementation of it was smooth, seamless. We Bernard and I have my mother testing because I love my mother. She knows how to use a phone perfectly, but for some reason that translation from phone to computer there's a big gap there. And she was the perfect person to use because it's her first time seeing it, whereas we grew up in the phone millennial era. Yeah. So we've had screens have out a little more than half our life. So figuring out something comes a little easier to us when it comes to technology. Where with her, when we were setting everything up, it's one screen at a time, making it as easy as possible on the customer to understand, read, and implementation of it was easy. That's the biggest thing. It's easy because as a business owner, you don't want too much of a learning curve. There is going to be a slight learning curve, but it's not unbearable.
Correct. And it's also kind of just training people to like use it, right?
Yeah.
Push them to
pushing them.
right? Yeah.
Initially, people, I mean, because you have the bigger chains that they'll have their kiosks and everything, and those are across the board the same. Well, when you come to my store, a smaller business, you don't really know what you get into, and the initial thought may be like, oh, I'm a little scared if I mess up. What are you going to mess up? You can always delete it from your cart, but that was the initial fear. Yeah,
I'm not going to get my order right.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, but because we've intuitively created the interface, right, of the ordering, made it like categories are here, items are simple. It's either a combo or a package only. That kind of helps, right?
Yeah. And it made it simple. Like I said, I'll take you kind of through what we do. For instance, we serve Euro. That's our biggest seller. So you have an option. Once you get that Euro button, you got a nice pretty picture. You hit, would you like a meal? Would you like a sandwich? Well, once you hit that meal, then it takes you to the next step. You got to fulfill those meal options, which are obviously a side and a drink option, which help with the upsell as well.
Yeah.
Because,
the upsell is
exactly, the upsell is huge because you could go for fries and then an upsell is zucchini sticks that's right in front of you.
Right in front, and no one's going to judge you.
Yeah, exactly. You can splurge.
Talk about the sauce page.
Yeah,
right?
okay, yeah.
So the next thing.
So then we move, we move on to the sandwich removal items. Let's say somebody doesn't like lettuce instead of easily pop those off. And then we also do a lettuce wrap option as a substitute, so that way we could provide some type of gluten-free option as well. And then when you get to the end, the great thing about the end was the extra add-ons item. And what it does is it allows customer to see everything, and maybe they want hummus, maybe they want spicy hummus, maybe they want some extra tzatziki, or they want to try our ranch. Well, in that page, you just click, 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 click. Now, the great thing on my end is the ticket price goes up. The great thing on the customer end is that they get to drive. They get to choose options for themselves and get to try a little bit of everything. So rather than, we train our staff members to do that, but you're always going to slip up here or there. I mean, it's just the human nature.
Yeah.
But when you're ordering from a screen, that stuff doesn't disappear until you make it go away. So once you press that button,
Once you press order,
yeah,
pay, right?
order, yeah, you go to order and pay, and then there you go. That's when you get your receipt, get your ticket, and move on. But that's the great thing about it is that it's there.
Doing it and everything. I'll come check you out. Let's finish real quick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So okay, so that's the whole order experience. The menu, optimized menu, kind of help push customers more towards kiosks, right?
Yes.
So a little bit of push, but also having an optimized menu, right?
Yep.
All right. So before we close out, because we got to catch a flight back to Vegas at 2, right?
Yeah.
We literally flew in this morning, and flight was delayed already.
Yeah, it was delayed 30 minutes.
And it takes 30 minutes
out.
to get to the heart of the city, where we're at. Last question for you: Chiefs or Niners?
Oh, I'm Caffrey to win. Gotta go with the Niners right now.
Okay, Niners.
Yeah,
There it is.
Caffrey needs it. And don't get me wrong, Brock Purdy's there, but Caffrey's the one that I'm home for.
All right, sounds good. Well, again, like to close out. Bernard, Ponder, Reggie. We make things happen. Customer was Larry was generous enough to fund our expedition here to the heart of the city and make things happen. We're about to create a self-ordering for Pete's. Keep you posted.
Yeah. If you're ever in the area, please stop by. Mad Creek, Baker, California. Same thing with Pete's, Baker, California. Nice little town that has a big thermometer letting you know if it's hot or really cold.
All right, we'll see you guys next time. Take care.